Spencer, can you believe that I'm getting such good reception out in the wild here?
You are, I don't know how you get it. Like, with those kind of trees, you must have the world's best hotspot. Because that is pretty amazing. I'm in my office currently, and I think you're coming clearer than I am. So,
Well, I do know people.
people. Yeah.
I can't tell you his name, but it rhymes with Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon Musk. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Well, welcome everybody to Monday Matinee. This is a short series that we're going to be doing pretty much every Monday. Noon, lunch, have a little time, chat, join in the discussion. This is, again, a fun time for Clayton State to get around and say, hey, this is what I've been watching, or hey, you should be watching this. So today, of course, we need to start with the Netflix series, which is amazing, Tiger King. And it is the best thing in the world. If you have not seen it, do so. Don't watch it with your children. Watch it, ready with your popcorn and experience some just amazing human beings that make you go, wow.
Amazing is a word for it, yeah.
It's amazing to me, so I don't know. It's crazy. That's what it really is.
To give you guys a brief overview of what Tiger King is, this is an 8-part documentary that's on Netflix that showcases the life of Joe Exotic, who runs a tiger sanctuary in Oklahoma, and all of the absolutely insane, crazy things that have happened around his life in the last 20-ish years. So Spencer and I will get into a couple of things. Here we go. But I do, while I personally am kind of like, wow, why did I watch that? If you're a fan of drama, if you're a fan of just kind of wacky things that go on, I do recommend it if you like those things. At the end of every episode, there's a little bit of a twist, which makes you want to binge the next one real fast. And there are some intense issues that come up with this that we'll get into in a minute. Yeah. All right, Spencer. So give me your overall, like, out of 5 stars, what do you think?
Out of 5 stars, I would give it a 3.5. I think it was a decent series. It's above average, but it's not, to the levels of like Making a Murderer, which is another Netflix series. And the interesting part is how you said it's a series that really follows the life of Joe Exotic, aka the Tiger King. But really, the main characters are going to be Carole Baskin and Dr. Antle. That's what's amazing about this series. Yeah.
About Jeff Lowe, that guy.
Jeff Lowe and all that. If you look at your 3 main characters, it's first Carole Baskin, then it's Joe Exotic, then it's Dr. Antle. And it follows these 3 stories of how they all are either competing with each other in different lawsuits, going through all these different areas, and you're like, y'all are doing the exact same thing. You just put a different label on it, and it's amazing. Like, I'm not trying to be one of those people, and then they go on. Those are my favorite types.
Yeah, every single one of these people is a cult leader. Every single one of them, and every single one of them calls the other ones a cult leader.
Yep.
Well, but not me. I don't do that. I would never do something like that. Except they're doing that exact thing. You're right. So
I don't know. But did you know that for $2,000 I could have had a tiger this whole time?
Oh man.
Like, which I don't condone owning exotic animals. It's very interesting. The Siberian tiger is one of my favorite animals. I think I just grew up with the Beanie Baby and the toys and all that. So, it's still something where I'm like, should I ask my parents for a tiger? Like, that would have been it. Probably wouldn't have gotten it, but.
Something interesting that happened to me when I first started watching this documentary is a few years back, some friends of mine were in veterinary school and needed to do an internship. So they asked me for a character reference, and it was to a place out in the Midwest, and I I called in and I gave them my character reference and all that. Well, when this documentary came up, I instantly went, "Oh crap! Did I like send people to that kind of thing?" No. I found out the one they went to is in Arkansas. It's a licensed zoo through the AZA, and it's tied to a big school out in the West.
Okay.
Whew. But like halfway through that first episode, I called a friend of mine and said, "Bree, please tell me that I did not send you out to this place." She goes, "No, I've been getting that a lot, actually."
Yeah.
So
Well,
she gave me the rundown. I was really worried for a couple of minutes there. I was like,
that'd be the part that I'd be worried about. But it makes it amazing that now it does make people start questioning what is the difference between a zoo, a sanctuary, or a retreat. There's all these different definitions of what they're saying. Like, oh no, we're here for the animals. Well, you look at it, Carole Baskin had the most to gain out of what she did. She had the social media followings. She had the money. She has the lawsuits. She has the trademarks. And, with Joe Exotic, it was pretty much like David versus Goliath. And
she never stood a chance.
She tried and won all the time. It was very easy for her. And Joe Exotic just went mad at the end of it because he had nothing else.
And she owned most of it. If you watch the stuff that's even in the documentary, that doesn't scratch the surface as to what this guy was doing. But you look at it, he's coming out with all these videos where he's actively cheering for her death.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's kind of his own worst enemy there, where he's all the evidence is going to point to him no matter what happens.
He poked the tiger.
Yeah.
He poked and he poked and he thought he could get away with it. And she said, "You know what wins? Money. And I have money. So I'm going to keep doing that."
Well, and here's the thing. Once you are a successful person in making your first husband or your second husband disappear and taking all of his money, because let's just
allegedly
get this out of the way. No, let's just get this out of the way. Carole Baskin most definitely killed her husband. Okay?
I don't know. I'm very innocent until proven guilty.
Look into those eyes, man. They are soulless. She has definitely killed somebody. It might not have been him, but she has definitely killed somebody. Oh my gosh. Because even when she's smiling, her face is smiling, but her eyes aren't smiling.
Yeah.
You can tell when somebody has a genuine smile because they get these little crinkles in their eyes or around their eyes. She doesn't ever.
See, that's why when you look around my eyes, I look 8 years older than I am because I just have the wrinkles because all I do is smile.
That's how you know it's a genuine smile.
I'm just a genuine person.
Like if someone who's not being genuine, when they smile, they won't get the crinkles around their eyes. And that doesn't happen with her.
Yep. It doesn't. Bless you, LaShonda. Welcome. We're talking about the Tiger King. Have you watched anything of the Tiger King?
I have watched the Tiger King.
How did you like it? Was it amazing? Was it everything you wanted?
It was a train wreck.
So we're going to take that as amazing. I enjoyed it. But it has that ability to make you remember that there are people, it was just they could have just called it Florida Man, even though he was from Oklahoma. This was your classic Florida man. It's very surprising that he did live in the great state of Oklahoma. Florida is still, happiest place on earth, but that's
Oklahoma man.
Yeah, Oklahoma man. Oh man, that would have been it because it was amazing. But what about his music career? Here Kitty Kitty is probably going to be on my workout tape, my running tape. I think it was pretty darn amazing. Even though he doesn't sing any of his own songs, but who does anymore? No one.
He's auto-tuned and
yeah, everyone's auto-tuned. They don't write their own music. He just found a business and he knew the genre that he wanted to do, and strong leaders bring in a team that will make you good, not do it all by yourself. So he was really good at delegating. So, there's your leadership tip of the day: is hire good singers for your music.
Once it became obvious what they were using the Walmart meat for, I was disgusted, and I hope nothing but bad things on all of them.
That's the part that we were talking about, like before the show, we were saying what's going to happen after this show. One, they're going to make more, probably a Carole Baskin series, all that kind of, area. But the lawsuits and the accusations that are going to be made, because you're right, the Walmart food, can you imagine now, like, again, I know ignorance is bliss in these situations, but could you say, like, oh gosh, I went to there, and yeah, we did eat at the cafeteria, and oh my gosh, and you feel bad, Walmart's not too worried about this branding right now, because it wasn't them giving out the old meat, and it's a common practice within, this large industry, but I can't believe that his own employees were collecting out of the meat and saying, like, oh, this stuff looks pretty good. And again, when it comes to Monday Matinee, this is all spoilers. We're not going to talk around. It makes it very difficult, and we're not movie critic professionals, so we know we will spoil at least 1 or 14 different things. So never expect this to be spoiler free.
A little bit of trivia here for you, Spencer. At one point in my life, I was paid to be a movie critic.
Right. See, I wasn't paid. I joined my brother's radio station when he was at Central Michigan University. They did Real Talk Tuesdays, and we talked about Pan's Labyrinth and Fool's Gold, and I still have that memory. And so, it took 10 years in the making, but I finally got this started for us after student life had such a great idea with Bobby Feely and Tiffany Burston, and so we're just getting the train moving, and I don't know, it's just summertime, so I like talking about movies, so why not keep going?
And speaking of full-blown movies, I know we're talking about a documentary right now, but did you know that there's a Tiger King movie in the works, and Tara Reid of all people is in talks to play Carole Baskin?
Oh, that would be perfect, because who was it? It's not Keanu Reeves. Who's the guy in Gone in 60 Seconds that I'm messing up?
Nicolas Cage.
Yep, Nicolas Cage. He's supposed to be
the Tiger King.
So that'd be pretty amazing, because
yep, we'll see how that one works out.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Last thing Tara Reid did was Sharknado, so.
Oh.
Hey, that's a good one. We should do that on the show.
That'd be amazing. Which one? There's so many classics. Which one would you pick?
We'll just do like a blanket statement of all. I mean, how new can a Sharknado be?
I know. I don't know, but that's amazing that sci-fi was able to change your logo, don't make it science fiction, make it sci and then fi, or sci-fi. And then just start saying, what if we combine sharks in a tornado?
That's not even their craziest one. Have you heard of the ghost shark?
No, I have not. That sounds amazing.
It's a ghost shark that can attack you out of any form of water. So it gets somebody out of a glass of water. It gets somebody out of like a snowbank. It's weird.
That's amazing. My favorite ones used to be like the crocodile ones.
Oh, those were good.
Those were actually good movies.
But Giant Octopus versus Mega Shark or something.
Yeah, like those were great. But yeah,
we're getting too far off the beat.
So we're getting off topic. We'll get back into it. So
I'm not ignoring you. I'm sending emails. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Good, you're good.
We never think that you're ignoring us. Again, this is an opportunity to chat, join in discussion when you want, and just Darrell and I to have a fun lunchtime.
How about this? Of the documentary, what do you think was the craziest piece of information about Joe Exotic?
That he ran for governor, and I did not know about
president,
that.
And he ran for
president. Oh, he tried. And he probably would do pretty well in this election if he wasn't in prison. But, there goes his opportunity. He can't even vote for himself now. But it's amazing that he also got over 19% of the vote.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't just join the election. He took 1 in every 5 people said, I think they'd be fine. Like, let's go for it.
It's not like in 2016 when I ran for president, because
Yeah.
I did get 6 write-in votes from friends who just thought they were being funny.
Yeah.
But
hey, I still tried to go for SGA president, and they just wouldn't let me. They said no staff allowed, and I said, okay, my bad. But Joe Exotic can show you that with enough money and the right people, you too can get 20% of the vote. So I think that was my craziest part. What about yours?
I think the performance he did when the studio burned down. You know he burned that studio down on his own, right?
Studio down.
He absolutely burned that studio down on his own.
Yeah.
But then later in the documentary, his husband goes to some storage unit, and there's all these computers and all these hard drives and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I bet you he saved all that stuff. I bet you it's all sitting in the storage facility.
Yep.
But no, seriously, he burned that thing down because they were getting too close to things, and because he was losing control to the documentary guy.
Yep. Well, also he just kind of knew that there must have been these behind-the-scene discussions in which Joe Exotic did realize that this guy's going to make him look more like a fool, which is funny because he agreed to another documentary series that probably still made him look like a fool. But whenever anyone comes up to you and says, we want to do a series on you, but don't worry, we're going to make it look good on your behalf, don't believe them.
No, thank you.
Never.
I don't need my life out there for but that was Joe's major downfall, is that he loved being on camera.
Oh, he did.
Loved being the center of attention. He loved being the star.
Yeah.
That's why all that stuff ended up happening to him, is because he couldn't let that go.
He couldn't. He was addicted to it. He wanted to be on the TV and be the next Steve Irwin and be like, look at my animals. This is what we do. Yes, they're amazing. And that's what he was all about. He was all about his persona. But, with all this responsibility, we've got some great things in this world now, like a fun TikTok video that has been going viral about Carole Baskin. And, that may be about Carole, but we all know Joe Exotic is the reason for this. So we have to thank him for this content. And I know there's a million times that I'll be walking around home, walking in the grocery store, and I'm like, Carole Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. And you can't convince me that it didn't happen. But
no, it definitely killed him.
It is great. I'm waiting for the T-shirts to come out, headbands, face masks, all that, with kitten, all that.
Kittens.
Hey, little cats and kittens. It's great. But
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the craziest part, though, that I didn't really see coming until it just happened, was when the guy killed himself in the office by accident.
Yeah.
What was his name? The second husband, Randy. No, right. Travis. It was Travis. It's Travis. I don't know where I got Randy from, but yeah, Travis. Where he's like, no, I'm just kind of messing around, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's gone, and I was like,
yeah,
whoa.
And that's not even quite sure.
They were setting it up like he's not alive because he'd not been interviewed at all.
Yeah.
And you kind of figured like something happened to him, but I figured like maybe an OD, because that's kind of how they were setting it up.
Yeah.
That he was like into hardcore into meth and all these other drugs and stuff. I was not expecting that accidental suicide thing.
Yeah. But that's also was it really accidental? Because it was.
Well, it was him messing around.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been messing around with the gun, but.
Don't play with guns, guys. Don't.
No, it's very dangerous.
But it was still very unique. And it is one of those shows that you could probably watch again. I don't know if I really want to. I'm mixed. That's why I got that 3.5.
Yeah, I'd agree with the 3.5.
It was a great experience. Which just sounds like... It was
certainly an experience.
The end of any relationship. It's like, well, it was an experience. Like, we had our goods, we had our bads, but... with the series in general, Netflix got some great publicity. I was a little slow in joining the trend of watching it, but I'm excited that I did. I'm excited that I got you to watch it, because now I know that you will forever have this vendetta against me for having you waste your time. But it's still amazing. Like, you have to watch it.
I don't regret having watched it, but honestly, if you hadn't said, "Hey, let's do this for Matinee Monday," I wouldn't have watched it at all.
Yeah.
Part of that is because I tend to rebel against things that are hyped.
Yep.
I had a bad experience with Dumb and Dumber many years ago.
That's an amazing movie. Don't you talk ill of it?
It really is not. I did not.
Heads are falling off.
Nope.
So you're telling me there's a chance that we do a Dumb and Dumber review?
Nope.
Oh, I love it.
Hang on. I think I'm going to be sick that day.
No, I haven't even told you which day it was.
So no, seriously, with that one, all my friends were like, "Oh, it was so good. You got to watch it. It was so funny. It's hysterical." And they built it up over like a month or two, and then finally in college I watched it, and it was like I got 20 minutes in, had to turn it off. It's like, this is just awful. I can't do it.
It gets better after 20 minutes, but your friends did the world's worst thing. You can't hype something up to be amazing.
That with me. I'll instantly not do it. Like when Harry Potter came out, it was I think the second movie came out before I even watched the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I did, actually no, I remember what it was because they wwere casting and doing all the stuff for the second movie, and the first one was like had been in theaters for like 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that. And my little brother asked everybody, he's like, can we go? And he's 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And no one would take him, and I was like, I'll take you. Like, it's 2 hours, whatever.
Sure.
And I'm like, I can suffer through it if you really want to watch it. So I took him, and I actually really enjoyed it. Like, that's the only reason I got into Harry Potter, really, because it was that much of a hype. And the same kind of thing happened with Tiger King. As soon as everybody was talking about it, I was like, nope, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Cannot do it. I will say, though, that this rule that I have of like not getting into the hype of things has been broken several times, and sometimes it works out pretty well. Like
it's just one of those times. It's exactly one of those times.
Yeah. So I will do it in the name of art. I will do it in the name of work, like those kinds of things. But this is not a documentary I'll probably ever watch again.
No, we'll never watch it again. This is one of those duties as assigned later, like that gray area.
That last little clause in the contract that says all other duties as assigned, which
you'll be working on.
For those of you playing at home, if you've never had that clause in any of the contracts that you have, every job I've ever had has had that clause.
Yeah.
And I have had some pretty crazy things get put in the name of that clause, and Tiger King is now entered into that column.
It wasn't that strong, but it was close enough. It was like, oh, hey, we're going to do this the first week, and then
plus with things like this, you got to understand, like, just because my personal convictions aren't to ever watch this, most people are watching this kind of thing. So if we're going to meet our students and meet our viewers where they are, we should be talking about the things they want to talk about. And that's something I've learned over many years. So
that's what's great about being able to continue to do Monday Matinee. We're excited about the upcoming movies. We're excited about getting more out there, taking suggestions, having people join the conversation, so that this way it can be a community talk and allow us to really chat with you, because Darrell and I talk a lot about movies and sports and outdoors already, but we like to keep talking to the Clayton State community and really just enjoy it, because I talked to everyone about the Tiger King already and how great it is, and I talked to people about movies, and so this is one more opportunity for that, and I enjoy it. What movie are we going to be watching next, Darrell?
So next week we are going to be reviewing and kind of talking about the Oscar award-winning movie Parasite.
It's going to be amazing.
Which that's available on Hulu, correct?
Hulu, yep.
Hulu.
Yep.
All right.
It'll be on Hulu.
So if you have any questions you want to send us in, or any thoughts or anything about the movie that you would like to get on the show, please go ahead and email us at either Spencer Emerson at clayton.edu or Darrell Fetchak at clayton.edu.
Or write in the comments of this team. You know, we review the comments and a little insight into Parasite, so you know what you're getting into. Again, it won awards. It's supposed to be a really great movie. Just be ready for there to be Korean and subtitles, because this is a Korean film, which I watch movies with subtitles already because I like knowing exactly what people are saying and I don't want to misinterpret. And with this type of film, there are a lot of great movies that people have missed because they don't want to have little text on the screen, which baffles my mind at times. But I'm really excited to watch Parasite because I've heard it's a really good film.
And honestly, there's been a lot of really good films coming out of Korea lately.
Yeah.
So I think part of next week we can, toward the end of it, we can talk about a few other things too. And like, hey, if you really enjoyed this, go watch some of this other things too. So that being said, thank you for tuning in this week. We appreciate it. Like I said, go ahead and get a hold of us if you have anything you want to get on the air. And
watch reruns on YouTube. We have it on our channel. It'll be uploaded soon, within the week. If you want to watch something, you want to comment, let us know. If you have a suggestion, we're here for you.
All right. See everybody then.
Bye. Thank you, Shonda.
Bye.